Hey guys, welcome back. I just finished building this holder for my little torch. I wanted to do some glass work, or experiment with some glass work, so I needed something that would work hands-free with my torch. I know Smith makes one, it's like a magnetic stand, but I wanted something more versatile, positionable, something that I could move into position that would articulate. And I also wanted a hands-free holder for my micromotor. So instead of buying one for each of them, I thought I'd make one that I could use for both. And it turned out to be a pretty easy project. It's very cheap and it works, I think, much better than one you can buy. So I figured I'd make a video on how I did it in case anyone else wants to make one. It starts off with these clamps. Home Depot sells these in all different sizes. So in order to use this articulating arm with the torch and your flex shaft or micromotor, you need to get two different adapters. So if I wanted to switch it for my micromotor, I would just screw this head off and then screw this one on. These are like $2 each, and maybe the rest of the parts total $20 for the build or under that. Let me show you how I did it. It has a magnetic base, so you can. It's a strong neodymium magnet, so you could attach it to a steel plate if you wanted it to be portable, or if you have a steel bench like I do, you could just mount it to your bench. All right, let me show you how I did it. So I've been toying around with a few ideas, and what I've come up with is sort of a ball and socket idea. So I rummaged through my junk drawer and I found a bead about this size, which is pretty perfect. It already has a hole in it. So what I did was drilled the hole a little bit bigger, and then just cut off a piece of a bolt that I had and just stuck it in the hole. This is going to serve as my master, and I'm going to just sand cast a bunch of these, like 4 or 5 of them, I guess, and then you'll see what I do next to assemble it. So let me set up my sand casting station, and I'll be back. All right, I got my mold partially set up here. By the way, I'm using the mold and sand provided by Craig Dobler at DIY Castings. If you want to learn how to sand cast, I strongly suggest you check out his channel. I'm going to put a link in the comment section. His videos are awesome. His products are awesome. So anyway, I'm going to take my master and insert it about halfway into the clay. And what I've been finding lately is that sand casting, it's not just for jewelry making. It's very useful for making tools. I've been using it a lot lately with specific zinc alloy. I'll link the zinc alloy in the comments as well. It's a mixture of aluminum and zinc. It's incredibly strong. It melts at a fairly low temperature, flows really nicely, and it's just great for making tools. It's super cheap. You can get like really big ingots of it for like under 20 bucks. All right, I'm just gonna slap the top on, fill this back up with sand, and I'll be back when the mold's ready. All right, let's heat up the zinc, and we'll get ready to pour. Alright, we'll see how that goes. Alright, let's see how this came out. Well, looks pretty much perfect. I would love if that came out and I can use this mold again. That would be incredible. Highly unlikely, but let's give it a shot. I don't know. I think maybe I could do that. I mean, for silver, that would be unheard of, but because it's zinc, I don't know. That still looks pretty good. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try to get another casting out of the same mold. All right, let's give it a shot. Before I try this second casting, I just wanted to show you guys the finish on this first one. That is just incredible. I ground off the threads on the bolt that I stuck in there for the master because I didn't need them, and they were like barely there, and it still picked up the texture from like the remnants of the threads after I ground them off, and the surface finish is just incredible. I just love this sand. Again, if you wanna use this sand, it's Craig Dobler at DIY Castings. I'll put a link in the comments because this stuff is awesome, and I'm still just learning. I've just watched a few of his videos, just done a few castings. I have a lot to learn, but the finish on this, it's perfect. I need to cut this off, remove the vents, I'm going to put it in a drill and just basically lathe polish it, and it should be good to go. So let me get I need about four or five of these, and I should be good. All right, let me try to get another casting out of this mold. Imagine I can get all 4 of them out of one mold. That would be incredible. All right, let's see how it goes. You know, it's funny. I actually did get a second casting from the same mold. It sounds good as the first one, so I don't really think it's worth it. It's better to just make a new mold with each casting. But I was surprised. You know, it's halfway decent. A lot more flashing, and finish isn't as good. So I'm just gonna make new molds for each one. I only need a couple more. That one looks pretty good. Okay, so I have a slight change of plan. So my initial plan was to cast a bunch of these, and then I have a hollow steel tube here. I was gonna cut a section of it, maybe like an inch long, and then solder one of these into each end, sort of make a little barbell. But that just seems like a lot of unnecessary work. So what I did is I took just 3 beads and just stuck them together and just made a barbell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to cast it all in one shot instead of having to solder them together. So let's see how that goes. I'm going to try to make the sprue really thin. I mean, normally I wouldn't be able to get away with this with silver, but because this is zinc, I think it's gonna solidify much slower, so I can probably get away with a smaller sprue. These castings seem to be going really well. Same thing with the air vents. I'm doing them very thin. Alright, let's see how she came out. Ooh, that's hot. That's really hot. Damn it. Oh, fuck. Oh, looks good. That is exactly what I wanted. Hopefully it works. Alright, let me make 3 more of these and I'll be back. Alright, quick update. I changed the design again. I decided I'm going to try to cast in place this bolt here because I want to make it modular. I want to be able to screw this onto like a magnetic base or something like that, or just make it more adaptable so I could change any of the settings if I wanted to, or maybe attach it to another tool. I just don't want it to be as permanent, so it's better to have threads on there. I've never done this before. I've seen other people do it. Usually it's successful. Hopefully this works. We'll see. Alright, if that worked, I'm actually going to be kind of surprised. That just seemed really sketchy. I don't know. I don't have much faith in this. Wow, that actually worked. And I think it looks really good, actually. Let me look for my tweezers. Yeah, that looks perfect. All right, awesome. Wow, I am really shocked that worked. That really looks better than expected. You know, that flashing will come off really easily, and I should be able to polish that so it's seamless. All right, moving on. So then the last part you're gonna need is are these. It's basically just a piece of flat steel sheet with 3 holes drilled in it. I can't really tell you what size holes to drill because I don't really know what size beads you're going to use to make these little dumbbells. Really, you can make them any size you want, so it's just a matter of just drilling a hole that is slightly smaller than the bead because it sort of makes like a socket. So the way you assemble them is you just put a threaded rod through the hole. The dumbbell goes in between 2 of these steel sheets with the threaded rod, and then a thumb screw goes on one side and the thumb screw on the other side until it's assembled together like this. You either tighten or loosen the thumb screws to add more tension to the joints, and then you just connect as many joints as you need. I used a strong magnet that I screw into on the base, and there's also another threaded rod on the top of the joint for screwing into whatever appropriate size clamp I'm going to use for whether I'm using a micromotor or a flex shaft. So this is it. Ultimately I decided on 1, 2, 3 joints. I felt that gave me the right amount of flexibility. I could position it really any direction, and it's very sturdy. I mean, it's really sturdy, especially, you know, for a torch. I felt that cheap magnetic one that Smith sells is just too dinky. I didn't want it to fall off my bench or get knocked over. This thing isn't going anywhere, and I have quite a few uses for my flex shaft that I could think of for this thing. So anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. Stay tuned for the next video, and if you wouldn't mind subscribing, I'd really appreciate it. Alright guys, see you in the next video.